Hi everyone, it's Rob Gowdy, Events Manager for Friends of the Hennepin County Library, and I am back for the Week 2 check-in for the Great Friends Read Together. We are reading The Secret Garden, and this week we read chapters 8 through 14. So this week I thought we'd get started just by hearing a little bit of the feedback that all of you shared on Facebook and via email. So I'm going to get started with a thought from Lisa that she shared in email. She shared her favorite quote, and the quote was, "Mary did not know what Wuthering meant until she listened, and then she understood. It must mean that hollow, shuddering sort of roar which rushed round and round the house." And Lisa said about this quote, "I chose this passage because of the word Wuthering. I had heard that Emily Bronte herself coined the word Wuthering for her work Wuthering Heights, though I can't verify that. It's just such a wonderful word that captures the atmosphere of this scene. Lovely." We totally agree, Lisa. What a great passage that captured the atmosphere of the moors. Next, I'm going to share something that Nan shared on Facebook. Nan wrote, "Mary behaves just like the Raj government. I was bothered by the racism reading this book as an adult. Burnett and Mary reflect the attitudes of the time. In India, she doesn't get to know the people and the landscape around her. In Yorkshire, she begins to see people as interesting and the landscape as something she can be a part of, not just boss around." What a great point, Nan. I think there are many things that pop up in this book that feel dated and backward and slightly offensive. So thanks for bringing that to the forefront and taking a contemporary viewpoint on what's happening in the book. It's really insightful and we appreciate it. Karen also shared on Facebook her favorite quote. "How does the like thyself?" Martha inquired. Mary hesitated a moment and thought it over. "Not at all, really," she answered, "but I never thought of it before." And then Karen wrote, "It resonated with me right now, thinking about how people sometimes behave to others and on the internet. Do they stop to think about if they really like themselves when they're behaving that way? Or do we feel better about ourselves when we practice kindness? I know I do." What a great spin on this classic tale, Karen. I just really appreciate that viewpoint. Just as Mary has room for growth as she gets to know people better, I think we all do, both in our e-lives and real lives. So thanks to all three of you for sharing your thoughts on this week's reading. And now it's time for our quote of the week. Well, I cheated. There's actually two quotes this week because I just couldn't resist myself. And the first one goes like this. "What a queer house. Everything is kind of a secret. Rooms are locked up and gardens are locked up. And you, have you been locked up?" Mary says this to Colin in chapter 13. She also says the following thing to Colin a little bit later in the scene. "If the garden was a secret and we could get into it, we could watch the things grow bigger every day and see how many roses are alive. Don't you see? Don't you see how much nicer it would be if it were a secret?" The reason I chose both of these quotes is because it's talking about the wider world of secrets at play in this book. On the one hand, Mary is a secret to Colin, and Colin is a secret to Mary, and they've both been locked up. And also, Archibald Craven has many secrets that lock him up as well. So, just like the secret garden, these secrets are locked up and they are waiting to be released. On the other hand, secrets also keep things safe. The secret garden, although it is dormant, is still alive, and it's just waiting for someone to tend it and to be opened back up into the public. And so the second quote really shows us how a secret keeps things safe until it's ready to rejoin the public world. Next up, it is time to dive deeper with background information on the book. We're halfway through the book now, so there's lots to explore, and this week there were a few things that intrigued me. First up, I wanted to learn more about the tradition and history of English landscape gardens and how they relate to the book. The English garden's history traces all the way back to the first Roman settlers in Britain who planted highly symmetrical, ordered gardens. The English garden went through a range of transformations throughout the next several hundred years, with the landscape garden style becoming popular in country houses of the 18th century. Mary wanders through what appears to be a maze of gardens with doors leading to more gardens. In this way, the gardens of Misselthwaite resemble the inside of the manor house with its endless passages and rooms. And just like the endless passages and rooms of the manor house, There are secrets in the garden. So we're hearkening back to our secrets of the quote section. I was also interested in learning more about hunchbacks and other health concerns in Edwardian England. A hunchback or humpback is a distinctive hump that can develop from either tuberculosis in the spinal column or spinal degeneration associated with osteoporosis or via irregularities in the spinal structure. In literature, these humps often betray a character flaw, such as Richard III's hunger for power or Archibald Craven's emotional unavailability. At this time, humpbacks or hunchbacks have become rare in developed countries. Now, while Colin Craven fears growing a humpback, his fears appear unfounded. The bed rest cure prescribed by his uncle Dr. Craven is truly the thing that ails him in this book. And there is hope that if he follows his cousin's restorative of fresh air and activity, he will escape his grim fate. We'll just have to wait and see. The final thing I was interested in sharing this week was more about Dickon Sowerby, the spirit of Missel Moore. Dickon was introduced to us finally in this section of the book, and he's a pivotal character in the telling of this story. When the reader first encounters him, he is sitting beneath a tree, charming animals with the music of his wooden pipe. And throughout the book, he is our and Mary's gateway to wilderness and wild things. In these ways, he appears to be a living evocation of the god Pan and a representative of divine nature. Just as much as the secret garden, he is an agent of transformation and a catalyst of rebirth. I am so glad we finally met Dickon. I hope you enjoyed meeting him, and I can't wait to see how he helps Mary and Colin uncover the secret garden. Okay, now it's your turn to join the conversation once again, and this week I have 2 discussion prompts for you. The first is, what traits do Mary and Colin share? How are they different? Discuss. The second is, Mary makes an instant connection to the secret garden. What place makes you feel like your best, most purposeful self? You can join the conversation and answer these questions in one of 2 ways. You can visit the Friends of Hennepin County Library Facebook page and scroll down to the post that includes the week 2 video that you're watching right now and discuss in the comments. Or you can visit our website, supporthclib.org/greatread, and you can join the discussion by clicking a link to email your thoughts. Also on our website, you'll find my quotes of the week and links for even more information about the topics I covered in the background information section. Next week, we will be reading chapters 15 through 21, and our check-in will be on Thursday, May 7th. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your further adventures in the secret garden.